standing.
Unimportant. Shadows traveling.
Thirty seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Go on, Rob. 1v1.
Oh!
Beautiful.
Good job, bro.
Hey guys, what's up? Hope everything is good and welcome to Learning Valorant as a CS veteran. Now, if you are new to this channel or even if you are a long-term subscriber, just a little bit of information about me. My name is Rob. I've played Counter-Strike since 1999 up until 2010 competitively. That was, of course, the CS betas up until Counter-Strike 1.6. In 1.6, I played in the biggest competitions such as CPL, which is the equivalent to a major these days. I've also won the UK's top leagues and played in many other competitions against the world's top teams such as SK Gaming, Ninjas in Pyjamas, Virtus Pro, and many other teams. In CSGO, I created a series in around 2014 called Learning CSGO as a CS veteran, where essentially I took my 1.6 knowledge and tried to learn CSGO and created a full video series out of it, which was quite successful back then, and I'm trying to do the same thing in Valorant. Obviously, Valorant has just come out into beta now, so I'm learning it from scratch. I'm just trying to implement my CS knowledge into a new game and see how much of it really gets across and is useful in a new game such as Valorant. So we're going to jump straight into a game now. This footage was taken live on my Twitch. If you are interested in watching me play Valorant live, please do follow me at twitch.tv/RobDefault. I'll put a link in the description. But this is actually only my second ever game of Valorant. The footage at the start of this video was taken from when you first launched the game. You have a training section, which is very nice. And if you are interested in looking at the settings that I use, just let me know in the comments and I'll create a separate video showing that. So yeah, this is my second ever game of Valorant on any map. My first game was a 13-2 victory, so going into the second game quite hot, and it does turn out to be a good game. So we are starting with a pistol round, very similar to CSGO. You have a buy menu just like you do in CSGO. You have armor. If you see on the buy menu on the right hand side, next time it comes up, you can buy heavy armor and light armor. For pistol round, you can only afford light armor. So it's really up to you whether you buy light armor and maybe keep your standard pistol, or you can buy a gun that's kind of similar to a CZ, costs around 400 credits and fires in automatic mode. So we are going to go ahead and hit the C bomb site, and yes, you heard that correct. The C bomb site. Some maps in Valorant have 3 bomb sites to actually cover. We are the attacking side, which obviously is the equivalent to a terrorist side as CSGO. Now we are getting flanked and someone does come behind us and gets a few kills, and in just a few seconds you'll see me absolutely whiff on this guy. Again, it's only my second game of Valorant, but the key things to note from the pistol round is that they are kind of similar to CSGO. You just have a pistol and it's kind of just about aim and positioning and getting into a bomb site. At the start of the round, you probably noticed I brought up a minimap on my wrist. That is actually a character ability for the character I'm using, and it actually lets you bring up a minimap of what's close to you, and you can then place down smokes by clicking. So a really powerful ability there, and will be basically essential, I'm sure, for team play when people start playing this competitively. So second round here, after losing the pistol round, obviously we are 1-0 down. I'm going to pause on the buy menu here, but to go over things in a very basic fashion, you have your sidearms, SMG, rifle, sniper, your armor on the right hand side. Light shield gives you 25 extra damage, and heavy shield gives you 50 extra damage that you can take, and then you have your abilities at the bottom, which you have to buy. The Phantom is the same as the M4 in CSGO. Basically, and the Vandal is like the AK, and the Operator is like the Orb, and then you have things like the Spectre, which is similar to the MP5, and the Bulldog, which is similar to the FAMAS. So heading forward now onto the second round, I am Deagle armor. I bought heavy shields and a Sheriff, which is the Valorant equivalent to a Deagle, and we are heading over to the B bomb site. I do bring up my abilities here to place down some smokes, but I didn't actually trigger them for some reason. Probably thought I did. It was my second game again. On the right hand side, you can see this black thing on the floor. That is a ultimate point. So if I pick that up, it gives me 1 point towards my ultimate, which you can see at the bottom of the screen. The far right one says X, and you can see it has some orbs. So I have two orbs out of 7, I believe it is, or out of 6 in this case actually. When I fill that up completely, I can use my ultimate ability, which is different depending on which character you are playing. So we did get the bomb down, but we did lose. Kind of a forced buy that round, but we did lose. So moving forward now onto the third round. So our money isn't great after pretty much forced buying last round. When I bring up a buy menu in just a second, after I bought heavy shards, I only have $1,900 left. So I can buy a scout which is the Marshal at the top right, but I do go for the Spectre, which costs 1600 credit and is most similar to an MP5 in CSGO. It has better running accuracy than the AK and the M4, for example, but does way less damage and is not as good long range. So we are doing an A execute this round. You can see me setting up some smokes at the start of the round towards the A bomber site. Now you can see a smoke in front of me now underneath the window, and then another ability in just a second here, which essentially is the same thing as a smoke. It just blocks your vision and makes it harder for you to defend or to get into the bomber site. But from here I do manage to get some nice kills and we take the round.
There's three behind us, all three behind.
Out of here. My ult's ready.
There, exactly there.
On my ace here.
One enemy remaining.
On left.
On the money.
On my ace.
You're going in, son.
Oh, so close to an ace. He's very low. So I'm going to keep this round on the screen. That was a 4-man at the start of the round. One thing I want to point out is a combat report on the right hand side. You can see exactly how many times you hit someone and how much they hit you, and you can see how much damage you did and how much they did and how much they hit you in the chest or in the head and so forth, which is great and similar to something like Face It, and a very good thing to have in the game.
He's not planted yet. He needs to get a move on. He's going to lose.
10 seconds left.
He's going to lose. He doesn't understand the game, I don't think. 4-man and we lose.
So we did lose that round. Despite me getting a 4-man, I think the guy playing was probably, like I am, new to Valorant. He had the bomb for a while but didn't actually plant it on the bomb site, so time essentially ran out and he didn't have time to go and kill the guy. So an unfortunate round to lose there, but let's get back into it. So here we have hit the C bomb site. We actually did a pretty nice C split. The bomb's going down. We have 4 players alive versus 4 CTs, essentially, or 4 defenders in this case, turning into a 3v3 now, and now a 3v2. I do manage to pick someone coming from towards our spawn area around the kind of the middle of the map there, and we're now in a 2v2 situation. So what I'm doing is just putting down a smoke to smoke off an area that I like to call short C. And again, I pick up someone who's coming behind us, leaving us in a 2v1 situation. He's smoked just in front of him, so I know exactly where he is. I managed to get the kill, and that is our first round on the board. So this round, we are going towards the mid area. We have the C bomb site to our left and the B bomb site up those stairs in front of me now. This round, I'm just going to focus a little bit on the wall banging. So this game, like 1.6, does have wall banging on certain surfaces, so like wood and things like that. You can wall bang quite nicely through, a bit better penetration than CSGO. And I'm using a Vandal here, which is called, well, it's called a Vandal in this game, but it's like an AK in CSGO. And I do manage to get a pick off through those doors there. And what we're kind of doing is just getting a few picks into bomb sites. I do get flanked and died, but most of this round is kind of just trying to get some map presence, because it's my first time ever playing this map. I've learnt where mid is, I've learnt where the bomb sites are, and now it's just kind of seeing where the choke points are and where the enemies come from. So skipping forward a couple of rounds, we are 5-2 down currently. I do have my ultimate ability ready, and I've had it ready for a few rounds. So because I'm kind of laying the map, I think a good choke point to use it would be behind these doors, because that's kind of where they've been holding. So you can see it brings up a mini-map, like when you're putting down smokes. You just mark where to go, and it brings an airstrike down. The players who are on the other side of the airstrike get a little dome and a bit of a notification that an airstrike's coming, and they have a couple of seconds to move away. Essentially, if they pull out a knife and run, they will avoid it, but it's still a really nice ability. I think a really good use for that ability will be when you have the bomb down and they need to plant. You can kind of go and hide and then just use your orbital strike on that bomb when they try to defuse, and yeah, really powerful ability. And in competitive play, people have to adapt and realize when that ability is ready to use and try and kind of bait it out.
Near A bomb site.
So 8-3 down currently. I'm going to show this round because I think it's quite a good example of recoil. So I'm using the Vandal again, which is, like I say, the equivalent of an AK in CSGO, and someone jumps out here. Now I try to control my spray, but because I don't know the spray patterns well enough yet, I do miss him a few times and then have to kill him. You'll notice he dashed into the corner there. That's an ability of the class that he's using. I used my ultimate a bit too early then, a bit wastefully really. It's much better to keep that ability ability and use it in more clutch situations. But we are hitting the A bomb site now. Couple more kills here, but I do get picked off in just a second. Someone goes to the window and I don't control my taps correctly on him. Miss, and he then comes out and finishes me off quite quickly there.
I don't know where people come from here.
So we have now switched teams, so this game is MR12, so you play 12 rounds and then switch sides, and first to third team will win you the game. I kind of like that. It's a bit faster paced than CSGO.
think so.
It works quite well anyway. Definitely don't mind it. And CS originally used to be MR12, so something I'm used to actually from years and years ago. So on the pistol round here, I'm playing the A bomb site now. This was only my second game, like I keep on saying, but I was very, very bad with pistols. I'm quite a bit better now after playing 10 plus games, but you'll see I'm not the best with pistols yet on this game.
Pistol aim is terrible on this.
One enemy remaining.
Someone's got shot on A.
He's low HP in the site. I hit him twice, I think.
That's what I said. Yeah, I said it reminded me of CS Italy, yeah.
So far in this game, I think even if you lose a pistol round, I've noticed most people still buy. You can still buy SMGs and scouts and deagle armor and so forth. So people are force buying a lot on the second round. I'm playing C long here. Now, one thing I will say about this game is that it's definitely defender's advantage. It's not like CSGO where if you wide peek and you basically have then a big peeker's advantage. You have a massive advantage if you just hold angles and someone runs into your crosshair, much like 1.6 was, and definitely not like CSGO is. Also, the amount of bullet punch is very high in this game, so if you start getting shot, you're essentially glued to the ground for quite a while, much more than CSGO. So wide peeking and over peeking is just going to get you killed, because as soon as they start shooting you, you're stuck and you can't get back into cover. Footsteps, as you probably heard then, are also very loud and you can pinpoint them through walls. So that's why you'll see a lot of people walking in Valorant gameplay. So this round I'm using the Marshal, which is essentially the scout from CSGO. I do get a couple of kills on long A here, and we take the round from there.
One enemy remaining.
Good comeback. This.
No, look on the drops. Sean or Tom, no.
Get a flank on me.
I know, it is, mate. Fucking getting annoyed now.
Headshot.
Big flank moon.
Get out of my way.
Get out! I'm literally about to say get out of my way. Then moon. The game said it for me. That's how good this game is.
Could be on for a 30 bomb here. First 30 bomb of Valorant.
So as this game goes on, and you can see we are now 10-9 in the lead, which is a good comeback. We were very far behind in the first half, but I'm getting more and more confident with the map and playing also A long. So I know they've stopped coming here, so what I'm trying to do here is get a flank behind them. I use my ultimate ability and manage to kind of clear this area out, push them outside and then push up, and managed to get a kill onto someone who was camping on the left hand side. Now the ice on the floor is an ability of a character, so if I go over there it won't damage me, but I'll walk extremely slow on there. But I'm still trying to get behind them and come behind them on mid.
One enemy remaining.
I think from what I've seen, boys, I think it's the Phantom for me is the one I'm going to be choosing more.
Whichever one I'm going to use now is a really good gun.
You've got the AK. Well, that's if it's the same round I'm on.
Three more. If you go on my stream, Tommy, and donate, you do get a drop though. I've heard.
I might just donate to see if I get a notification. It's really making me paranoid.
Two more.
So I'm closing into 30 kills here, so I'm trying to kind of play aggressive on long A, kill anyone that's pushing, and then try and flank behind them. So I go to the second entrance to the A bomb site and do pick off someone, but my recoil control is not good enough yet, and I do miss that guy and do die when I'm trying to pick up a gun for the ammo. So I am now using the operator, which is the Valorant equivalent to the AWP and a very expensive gun. I think it's the most expensive gun in the game, and it's the first time I've actually ever used this gun. So I'm still flanking long A. Obviously, when I bought the gun, I was hoping they'd try and push long A so I can get some nice long-range AWP kills, but instead I'm getting a flank on.
Oh, there's someone watching behind. Oh, do you like that shot? Oh, do you like that? Come on. We didn't lose a round, did we, as attackers?
You won?
Yeah, we won, yeah.
So that is the end of the game. We had a nice comeback and won 13-9 in the end. I got 31 kills and 19 deaths, so quite happy to get my first 30 kills on Valorant so quickly. Now, one thing that is really good at the end of the game, which unfortunately I don't show in this VOD, is how good the scoreboard is. So you have all your normal stats that you'd expect to have, but you also have something called a combat score, which gives you points for damage dealt as well as normal kills. So that means if you're having a really good game in terms of damage output, but you're not actually getting the kills, you can still say, look, I had a really high combat score, I still contributed. The first video. Really nice, so a nice 30 bomb to start off the series. If you do enjoy this, please let me know. The best way to watch me play Valorant is to follow me on Twitch. I'll have a link again in the description below. I'm going to play on there pretty much every single day now, I think, and I'll create videos in this series as well to show you my progression. There's a couple more coming up in the next few days, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. And if there's anything you want me to cover specifically in a video, let me know and I'll make sure I cover it on the next video.